while. How have you been? We're back.
Hello.
Patrick's back. Patrick's back, by the way. Look, there's Patrick.
Hello.
He wasn't here
Get
last
used.
time
Yes, get used. This is the last time you'll see me with this hair because on Tuesday I'm finally getting a cut
because I'm going to hold him down and I'm going to shave his head. Okay, maybe not.
to the
Barber
bone.
to the bone. I'm going to scalp him.
Bone saw.
Don't know, Dipper. Bone saw's ready. So Patrick wasn't here last time, but he's back now. So Patrick missed the quiz, in which
Something
Ben
about a
won.
lament.
Oh yeah, so Ben won by a lot. Turns out Egerton, who has run 2 websites based in and around nerd interests, one literally called the Nerd X, knew fuck all about things. I felt like I was bullying him. I still feel really, really bad. And if I do a quiz again, he's not playing.
He sounds like a big fat phony then.
He can cancel a podcast, behave. So Patrick, yeah. So he's lovely. He is a great man. Anyway, so Patrick getting his haircut. Barb, things are starting to open up again. Pubs are open, by the way. You go to the pub. Wouldn't really want to.
That I would ever go to the pub. Yeah.
The rules are mad. Have you seen them?
Yeah, it's like you're not like actually go to the bar and you have to have an app. And I'm just looking at it thinking, no one's going to do this, or at least no one's going to think to do this because everyone's like, oh, the pubs are open, land, and yeah.
So I used to work in a bar in Belfast, and I have people text me going, "You still work there?" And it's like, nope, this is horrible. No, the people are idiots.
Why are they texting you? You say you work in a bar, but what do they expect?
Because we're friends, they want to bitch to me about it. Also, this is my setup. You might have seen it last video. It looks really nice. I'm really happy about it. Anyway, so
it's very clean.
Well, thank you. So before we get into the topic at hand, just double checking what time it is so I don't go over again. What have you been up?
18 minutes past the hour.
I know. I looked. I can check. I can check the time, man. I can check the time. Anyway, so what have you been up to over the last week or so?
Well, I can tell you what I wasn't doing: DIY and putting drawers in, because that was my entire last weekend. So I was not doing it this weekend.
But what were you? That's not what I asked.
Okay, well, aside from that, then making use of my drawers for testing out gluten-free red velvet cake recipes.
Which, if we do another Twitch, which we will eventually, Patrick will probably have a bit of chill and talk about recipes during it, because it's a good way to break up time when I run to the bathroom. I am
doing the that spice meme.
Jeez, I forgot about that one. It's like, so yeah, I've been watching Doom Patrol. That's getting fun. I've also started reading Grant Morrison's run on it, which is really weird, but brilliant. I love it.
Doom Patrol?
Yeah.
Comics?
Yes, but also the TV show. It's out on HBO Max. And it's out on HBO Max and DC Universe. I don't know if it's still on DC Universe, but that's where it started.
My girlfriend's now got Disney Plus, so I can actually watch The Mandalorian and the final season of the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. So, do you know? No, get it finished. Next week's topic can be Clone Wars.
Oh, perfect!
Yay! Okay, but tonight that's not topic. Topic is the unholy trinity of the R: reboots, remakes, and reimaginings. Now this happens across all mediums because
money,
nostalgia, money, and occasionally some people think, look, there's this original idea. I think I can do something new with it.
Yeah.
Or some people are like, yeah, let's do that again. But right off the bat, because I just remembered it now, have you ever seen the remake to Psycho?
Is it right? Is the remake the one with Christian Bale?
No, that's American Psycho. That's a different movie. I'm talking about the original, like in Alfred Hitchcock, Char, Psycho.
No,
I
haven't. Though I think I've seen
It starred. Was it Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates?
Did you say Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, this is before he did all the comedy. This is before comedy. Before comedy, he was a very serious actor. The way he is now, actually, because he's gone back to his roots of being very serious and scary looking.
The most serious I can think of him is The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
This is before, maybe similar time. Okay, we got to talk about Vince Vaughn sometime because that man's bounced about. He was in True Detective season 2. A lot of stuff recently has been, what was it? Uh, really violent movies, kick-ass movies though. So there was a remake starring him as Norm Bates, Viggo Mortensen as your woman's boyfriend. I cannot for the life of me remember who plays Marion. I think the sister was played by Julianne Moore, I think. Anyway, it was a shot-for-shot remake. Nothing new, nothing added. Literally shot for shot, beat for beat, everything exactly the same. That is a bad remake because there's nothing new.
Yeah. If
A
anything, it's more. I wouldn't even say it's a
better,
remake. It's a remaster.
well, no, it is a remake because, they technically did it again. They remade it. Now, for a better reimagining, there's the Bates Motel TV show, which I never finished. I remember watching it. I watched a bit of season one. It's one of those things I feel like got to go back to and try again. But apparently,
I'm not aware of the show.
yeah, it's a TV show about Norman Bates and his mother.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, if you hear a lot of squeaking, that's my chair. I'm currently sitting in a desk chair and it makes little squeaky noises. Anyway, so that's a very dodgy squeaky noise. That TV show does something new. It's a modern day. It's like set in the modern day, and apparently is very, very good. So I count that as a good remake / reimagining. So that's kind of the ideas here. But for films, this goes on for ages. There's tons. Like in the last few years, there out of all three of them, there's been tons. Like the Ghostbusters that got rebooted with a new cast. It's not a remake because it's completely different cast, characters, etc.
Yeah.
For better or worse. I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was all right. I liked it.
I mean, I thought the film was okay as well, but I suppose there's the whole glaring thing is that obviously the all-female Ghostbusters team, and it's like, here's the thing. I feel like the movie was made just for that purpose rather than having a good Ghostbusters cast and then
maybe.
coincidentally.
Yeah. Okay. If we're going to talk about that, I feel we have to diversify who's going to be on the podcast because it's just two white guys talking about the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters. If we're going to have that conversation, I think we need to diversify a bit. But
hey, to be fair, I do like those actresses.
yeah, I like most of them. They're grand. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the movie. I laughed. I remember laughing quite a bit. I thought the worst bit in it was the cameos from the original actors, except for Ernie Hudson.
Which one was he? Was he the taxi driver?
No, Ernie Hudson played Winston. The only black Ghostbuster, a.k.a. the actual best one. Okay, it's going to be very short.
I didn't know his name.
I'm making this point really, really quickly, right? Everyone bitches about, they want to be Ray or Stan. No. Winston is the best Ghostbuster for me for one reason, right?
I mean, as far as I know, he's basically the one that saves the day all the time when it really matters.
No. It's more, at the beginning of the movie, Egon is like, I'm the scientist. I want to make all the things. Then you have the other two, Ray and Stan, and it's like, yeah, I want to get famous. I want money. And the other one's like, I'm interested in the ghosts. Winston turns up to a job interview and he goes, hey, I'm here for a job. He does his fucking job. Ernie Hudson.
And then, of course, and when everyone's like saying, oh, we shouldn't let these guys come in, he literally sits down with the mayor and is like, here's the deal. And he basically explains it. He's like, okay.
That's like fact out of all of them, he's the best. And I'm just going to say that. But yeah, that was one of them. Then for a mild reboot was the Oceans movie. What was it? Oceans 8? I think it was the full female cast. That was a fun movie. Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett.
I haven't seen it.
I recommend it. It's fun. But this is one thing. So film always does this, and it's for better or worse. Weirdly enough, a couple of the great or cult favorite movies have been remakes. Scarface is a remake, which always blows people away. Yeah, it's based on a black and white gangster movie.
That's the name?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like a I'm trying to think best way to say this. A fictitious caricature of Al Capone kind of thing. Scarface. Yeah. And my favorite film of all time was a remake. And that was John Carpenter's The Thing. Though that could also be argued was also reimagining because it's also based on the same source material, the thing that goes there, and then the original movie is the thing that came from outer space.
Sorry, is your camera lagging there?
Can you see me?
A bit like, am I lagging for you?
No. I think we're okay. But yeah,
okay, great.
So back onto that.
Sorry, so the remake is that the one with what's the guy?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. See, is that the remake?
Yes. The first one was a black and white movie called I think it was The Thing from Outer Space, which the Thing was literally a big guy in a suit. He looked kind of Frankenstein looking guy.
Actually, I did see that.
Yeah, I remember doing it one of the 24-hour events we used to go to. I did a double bill one night. It was great. Then there was the prequel, which
I still want to see that.
It's all right. If they'd done the original plan, it would have been better, which was practical effects touched up by CGI, rather than replacing it all with CGI and getting some creatures. Cool designs and everything, but some of the stuff is like, oh, that's a bit shit.
Yeah. Because, it's totally dated and all of the original, but those things were bloody terrifying looking even today.
Oh, God, seriously. I want to watch The Thing. If you hear that, that's my neighbors. My neighbors' kids are being really loud today. Sorry about that. But yeah, I love that movie. It's just, it hits all the right beats for me. It's a creature feature. It's John Carpenter. John Carpenter doing the score as well. And no, he does some of the score. I think it's I think a lot of the score is also done by Enrique. I forgot his name. I need to look at this composer's name.
Will I look up for you while you talk?
No, I've already got it open. So, because yeah, the guy who did the initial the main theme for it was Ennio Morricone. I apologize if I butchered his name, but he died recently. And I feel really bad because I just realized, I'm sad now. I just remember he died. I feel really just sad because, oh my God, I kind of want to just do an episode talking about that guy's music because,
what's his name?
Ennio Morricone, and I apologize. I really feel I'm butchering that guy's name. It's Italian. ENNIOMORRICONE. He did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The Untouchables. The Mission.
Good score.
Pardon?
I say just The Untouchables and The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Good scores.
Yeah. I'm trying to think some things. Hateful Eight. He did Hateful Eight. Once Upon a Time in the West. Basically, this guy is one of the best composers ever to exist. And I forgot he died, and now I feel really, really sad for remembering it. I love the music so much. Anyway, let's forget about that because let's move on. Because I'm going to move on because I'm going to feel sad if I keep talking about him. Anyway, so
here's a one. So not exactly a remake or reboot and such, but
okay.
Avatar.
Why wait? Are you about to say Pocahontas or Dancing with Wolves?
I was going to say Dancing with Wolves. Yes.
Oh fucker.
I mean, not a reboot or remake, but a reimagining, which I can get behind.
Inspired by events.
Yes.
God. I do love the fan theory that all the soldiers in that movie are colonial marines, and just turns out they suck against every kind of alien. But so there's some remakes, right, which are fun, but they're more dated than the original. So you have George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the classic zombies. Yeah. No more room in hell. The dead will walk the earth.
Yeah.
But it's remake by Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder did that?
Yeah, he did the remake. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun, but it's very 2000s, like rough cuts and everything. It's fun. Bing Rames with the shotgun and sorry. I'll always hit this microphone no matter what position it's in. I will beat the shit out of it. It's fun, but at the same time, it's like the original probably has aged better than you, and it's older.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like the original one kind of like goes for a less is more approach in the sense there's more zombies, but there's less survivors, and it's less sort of action as such, but it's more eerie as such.
I
Whereas
mean, the remake has a way more zombies, man. They had a bigger budget, but the original is literally a character piece where it's about
capitalism or
small,
commercialism.
kind of that's the symbolism, right? But the character
Yeah.
piece is usually just about these small group of people, and they're just trying to survive when it comes down to it being that how they're surviving isn't really worth living, kind of thing. Whereas the remake kind of does that, but then just turns into a zombie action movie that's fun. It is fun. Don't buy it. It's the bathroom bit at the beginning, great.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's lost in translation. Though there is a remake of one of Romero's films, which I feel does work the same way and might be better now, especially with today's climate. And that's The Crazies. Have you seen The Crazies? Either of them?
I think I've seen the new one. Is there a bit in a car wash?
Yes, that one.
Yes, yeah, I've
Where
seen
it's
that
like,
one.
hey, government releases infectious disease, which turned people crazy, and and everyone during this pandemic, it's like, you're fucking nuts. So, but then again, there's so many these films which use either the remake, the reboot, or the reimagining as a way to either streamline a movie,
Yeah,
or streamline a franchise, or just kind of get it back on track or tell a different story.
yeah.
One I will count as a very, 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 very soft reboot because they don't change anything. It's a sequel, but they shift focus, and that's Creed. Because you have the Rocky movies, all about Stallone. Then you move on to Creed, which is all about Adonis Creed. Apollo's bastard son. And
Bastard?
Yeah, literally the beginning of the movie is Apollo Creed's widow coming in and adopting him.
Oh, you see, I've never actually seen it, so I didn't even realize that.
Oh, man, no.
It's on my to-watch list. I never get a chance.
You know, Stallone kind of perfectly just goes into the
mentor role.
Yeah, he does. He's aged into it so well, and apparently he wants to do another Rocky movie. And it's like, mate, go on, do it. Because the whole Mike Tyson thing, Mike Tyson's come out of retirement. It's like, Rocky will come out of retirement. It's like, yeah, I'm okay with this. But everything works because even though Rocky is traditionally an underdog story, whereas I think his name is Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah. Or Donnie. I keep calling him Donnie. He grew up in luxury. He was educated, so it's not pulling yourself up the bootstraps and all you have is fighting. He's more doing it to discover himself and to learn who his father is and make sure that he wasn't a mistake. And the second they play the Rocky thing, like the Rocky thing, because like it's like the last round of the fight and the end of the movie. It's like, yes, good movie. Sequel's not as good, but you know, Dolph Lundgren comes back as
Drago.
Yes, Drago. So there's that. Then there's the one which is almost a full remake, completely, but it's canon, and that's Star Trek.
Yes, I mean that's a funny one. It's like it's kind of It's
a sequel, remake, reboot, reimagining. So for those who aren't Trekkies like myself, or how Patrick is slowly becoming, because I know he's still watching DS9.
I've always enjoyed. I mean, I wouldn't say
the J.J. Abrams began, and then I remember I did the last one, but that's called. It's in canon with Star Trek, but it's just called the Kelvin timeline, where they move, and it's even being referred. Events in that movie, or cause that movie to exist in its canon, are being referred to by the new TV show Picard, which is Spock accidentally goes back in time because Romulus gets blown up because of a supernova. Spock tries to stop it, fails, goes back in time.
Yeah.
And that's what sets up him meeting young Kirk, him meeting young Spock, going on an adventure. One really shit adventure of all can. Seriously, Into Darkness is one of my most hated Star Trek movies. Then Star Trek Beyond, which is fucking fun. I love that one.
Yeah.
I want.
There was three of them, wasn't it? Star Trek, Into Darkness,
there's
and
just Star Trek Beyond. That's the one where it's. I think Sam Pegg co-wrote it, or at least had something. He was more involved with writing, and it's like, hey, you guys really wanted to just make Beastie Boys a thing in these movies? Okay, here's literally a plot point where you save the day with the Beastie Boys. Well done. I love that fucking scene. Also, the fact I love the best bit of that scene is they're in an old like NX-1 ship, which is like calls right back to Star Trek Enterprise. I'm not the biggest Enterprise fan, but I still like when people acknowledge it exists.
Yeah.
You know? So that event, the Romulus thing, that's literally the big point in Picard. And I don't want to touch on it too much because I still don't think you've watched it.
I've watched the first episode. Okay,
so you know what I mean. Also, best characters who don't really get much screen time is his Irish Romulan housekeeper. She's amazing, and it's like just you know you've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, those cheeky feckers. She's the first person to say fecker.
I mean, I'll go for the entirety of DS9, and not once does O'Brien even come close to saying it.
That's because it was the 90s and they couldn't swear. Yeah. whereas the new one, it's like, oh, you fucking hubris, fuck you, bitch, shit. No, okay, we're going to move past Star Trek, but I want to say, Star Trek, when they first use certain swear words, because swear words. Star Trek was primetime TV before primetime was allowed to be a bit more edgier and rough. So having any character swear is weird. Like in the original movies, I think you got damn and bastard and crap. Like the first big, like, I say hard, it's not that hard today's standards. Swear word in Star Trek was Star Trek Generations, in which Data says, oh shit. Oh shit. I remember being a kid watching that and just nearly crying with laughter, going, oh my god, Data said a swear word. Then, so they get them, and then the first time they use the F word is perfect. Because have you watched Discovery?
Not yet, no.
It's Discovery Season 1, and it's like, okay, here's Sansa, someone just, fuck yeah. Because, no, I think they're the exact words, oh my god, that's fucking cool. And then, but they're talking math and nerdy shit. And then the chief engineer goes, yes, you're right. That is fucking cool. So, as the series gets, more mature with the audience and stuff, I don't mind them swearing that much, but, it's fun. But that's how they keep it in canon for the reboots and sequels and stuff. That's how I was getting into this. Then there's the same story told over and over again because it's a really popular character. Because I think, how many times have you watched Bruce Wayne's parents get gunned down, and how many times have you watched Uncle Ben die?
Let's see.
You're not going to be able to count it because I know for a fact there's like 17 ones you're not counting.
Well, I'm talking about the ones I've seen. I think at least 3 Uncle Ben's getting gunned down, and probably about 4 or 5 Bruce Wayne's parents getting gunned down.
I think live action anyway. There's only been 2 Uncle Bens to die on screen.
Yeah, because the third one didn't even exist.
It did exist. They haven't shown it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think in that sense, like, yeah, we've sort of done this point's been done to death already. So let's just move on with it.
Yeah, look for superhero movies. Let's go through this really, really quickly. There have been
3 Batmans.
No, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, 7?
Yeah, give me a second. Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney.
Yeah, but you see those
Christian,
two, they're all...
No, give me a second. Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and Rob Pattinson. And
then the kid from Gotham.
He kind of became Batman. Kind of at the end. No spoilers. Actually, I'd say spoilers. Last episode, he turns up in the costume. Ta-da.
Yeah.
But not exactly big spoilers. Like, how's Gotham going to end?
Yeah.
But, there's more DC stuff I want to talk to you about, but we're eventually going to try to re-record that damn episode because more stuff's come out. But that's superhero movies. You're going to get so many versions of the same story. Like, we've had...
just before you move on, I mean, Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, are they not all the same Batman?
Look, I'm going to say no because they're so much different. But when it comes to superheroes, look how many people we've had. We've had like 4 Incredible Hulks. We've had 2 Daredevils. We've had
All the
4
Superman.
4
Top
Punishers.
3.
A ton of Supermen. If you want to bring in TV to it.
Yeah.
We've had 2 separate teams of the Fantastic Four. You know, we've had a few Captain Americas back in the old crappy movies. Oh no, we had 3 Daredevils because the Daredevil turned up in the Incredible Hulk TV series.
Is right. And a movie. Or was it?
It was the movie.
Movie, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I watched
By the
that
way,
one.
people always bitch. Oh, that Daredevil didn't look great. You shit. That's the exact same costume Daredevil has in season 1. Netflix fuckers.
Yeah.
We have 2 Thors. You know, once again, thank you,
2.
Hulk. Once again, thank you, Hulk. Thor turned up in the Hulk and it was terrible. So you've got all these and 2 Wonder Woman. Forgot 2 Wonder Woman. Yeah, so there's so many characters who just 2 Supergirls. No, 3. I forgot Smallville. Sorry, but there's so many of these characters, and it's like being taken from the same point. It's kind of hard to go, what's a remake, what's a reboot, what's a reimagining, or what's just another adaptation. Because that's what a lot of these are, especially from comic books. And
I mean, it's not really a big deal when like the superheroes are doing it, considering that the comics have been doing it for years anyway. So
we'll get the comics. We'll get the comics later. Comics are hard. Comics might have to do the whole episode, but we'll get to them later.
We did have an episode for it. It was the DC one.
Which we did record.
Yes.
And literally, as we were up, as me and Egerton were uploading, we realized, hey, David, half an hour of audio doesn't exist. It's like, shit, the original doesn't exist either. So basically, David's learned to back up all of his work. But then you get the reboots, which are just kind of like Hellboy. God, that Hellboy was shit. I hated it so much.
Yeah, I almost didn't I almost didn't see it for osmosis of
I love David does it David Harbour? Guy from Stranger Things? Love him in Stranger Things, love him in other things, but you know,
Yeah.
Then you get the good ones, which occasionally a good reboot or remake or whatever can be good. Like Transformers. Transformers went from Michael Bay's Ultimate Actor where he could blow everything up. Which what was the last one I would see? I think it's the one where they introduced the dinosaurs.
No, the last one was
the last one I went to see.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
That was also the last one I went to see because at that point it was like
you went to see
not
together.
doing it anymore.
It was like 3 and a bit hours long. It was a long ass movie.
I didn't see it. I saw it in America, so I did.
Who the fuck did I go see it with? I thought same with you. Anyway, then you get Bumblebee.
Yes.
Which completely changed the thing. I have not seen it yet, by the way. I need to watch it. Apparently, it's great.
Bumblebee? Oh no, Bumblebee is like just
Yeah, go ahead, say.
It's like Bumblebee was like. It's like the problem. I mean, here's the thing. I really enjoyed the first Michael Bay's Transformers movie. I mean, it was just good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Then it then suffered from the sort of Michael Bay problems of the sequels. But this one was like, right, okay. See all the complaints people had. Oh, they don't look like the originals. Let's just straight up make them look like the originals.
Someone just sent me an image going, look, David, this we need to see it. And they sent me a Gen 1 Optimus Prime. Like, I'll watch this movie. By the way, I'm
not even that. They're Gen 1 Soundwave, for God's sake. With freaking Ravage coming out of his chest. Like, yes.
Nice. Okay, one second. I tried that in I'm not the biggest Transformers fan as a kid.
Yeah.
But I watched Beast Wars.
Hey, well, Ravage was in that as well.
Megatron turns into a fucking T-Rex. But yeah, then there's that, which you're like, okay, we're going to try to fix this. And then there's the one which they try to fix, which isn't broken. And that's screw. Let's just talk about Terminator for a minute, because you've got the first movie.
I mean, Terminator. I was going to say Terminator's kind of got the same treatment as Star Trek, but I thought, wait, actually?
Okay, so Terminator, for those who've never seen Terminator, is literally about come with me if you want to live, because this robot's come back in time to kill you. I come back in time to save you. By the way, I'm going to have sex with you. I'm going to die, but your son is going to be the guy who sends me back in time.
Yeah,
it's kind of a closed loop of paradox. Then the sequel comes up, which honestly, Terminator 2 is probably one of the best action movies ever made. I'm never going to bitch about it. It's fun.
Yes.
Then Terminator 3 came out, which was...
It was there.
Yeah. Then we got Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, which highly underrated television series. I'd recommend you go check it out if you haven't watched it. It's really fun.
I'm aware of it. I'i've seen a few clips, but not enough to sort of say like, I don't like it, or I like it.
I'd recommend watching it. At least season 1's good. Season 2 is a bit more.
I mean, is that one canonical to like Terminator 1 and 2? Or is it like in its own
technically, it's after Terminator 2, if that makes sense. Terminator 1 and 2 have happened in its story.
Yeah.
Then you have Terminator Salvation, which I didn't hate. I just hated the ending and the fact that the twist got advertised on TV. Then there was Terminator Genesis, which I didn't hate, but the ending sucked and the twist got revealed on TV.
Yeah.
It's like, stop telling me your twist fucking Terminator movies. Original Terminator 2 trailer, by the way, revealed the fucking twists. These movies need to stop. And then there was Terminator... What was the last one called?
Dark Fate or Dark Future?
Dark Fate, which I've not seen.
I have not seen it either.
I think it looks good, though.
Yeah.
But there's a fan theory. All right, so someone told me a fan theory, right? Yeah. Where every single Terminator movie is canon.
Well, that's what
because the time travel thing where every time you travel back in time, you create a branching universe.
Yeah.
So technically, everything's canon, including Arnold Schwarzenegger wearing Elton John's star sunglasses. Talk to the hand.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? So obviously 1 and 2 is a direct sequel, obviously just following on from it, and then 3 is then a direct sequel again. But Salvation was, I mean, I got the impression it was, but then I thought Genesis was like, no, we're just kind of rebooting it as such.
Yeah, honestly, those movies are a mess. There's no canon. There's nothing. My advice is watch the movies, the first 2, and then get out while you still can. And if maybe watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
And I remember we went to see, was it the first one, second one, then straight into the premiere of, or I say the release of.
Did I go see the Triple Bill with you?
Yes,
I did. It was me, you, and our friend Anya.
Yeah.
Who I got to watch cry 2 times in one night. I know why you cry. I've seen a woman cry 3 times. 2 times in Terminator and 1 time when Snape died.
I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but even I thought that was quite tragic.
Mate, these days, I don't know how many people are Harry Potter fans. Ooh, anyway, so then there's the good. We're going to fix this timeline. We're going to fix these movies with a reboot. And that would be the Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh, yes.
Because their sequels went all over the fucking place. Planet of the Apes, Beneath Planet of the Apes, which had the weird skinless guys who worship the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Then there's a ton of them. One involves time travel as well. I can't even begin to work out them because I've never seen them all.
That one with time travel is the only one I haven't seen. And I'm raging because I want to know how they time traveled. I know it's something to do with the bomb. It's just
no. It's like they borrowed his ship or something. It's not really explained all that well.
Yeah. Wasn't the last one in that series, like the original ones, the War for the Planet of the Apes?
Wait.
Because they reused the title. I think.
I don't know. But okay, so. Jesus. Or Conquer the... Okay, I need to watch these movies. I don't want to watch these movies, but I feel I have to. But then we got the new ones, which are really good. I remember, what's the first one called? Is it Rise or...
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and...
That was it. So Rise...
Was it Dawn or Rise?
It's Rise, because I always thought those 2 titles came in the wrong order.
Yeah.
So Rise was one of those movies, I literally went before and gone, look, this is a pointless movie. We don't need another Planet of the Apes movie. Then I went to see it, and I apologized. It's like, no, that was really fun. I liked it. Andy Serkis makes a good monkey. Then Dawn, which was great.
Sorry, just to sort of point out, do you think the main reason, do you think that the thing that gave him an edge in getting that role is because he played Gollum? So it's something like he's good at hunched over movement.
Really? No. Really, that's what you went with? Not the fact that he played King Kong?
What, Kong Skull Island?
No. Peter Jackson's King Kong was Andy Serkis.
Really?
Yeah, and also to blow your mind about the other Kong you just brought up. No, what's his name? Was it Kubo, the ape with the scars? The one he was being tested on. Koba.
Yeah.
The guy who does his motion capture
No.
was Kong in Skull Island. He was also in Skull Island. He was the Marine who gets just taken out by the skull crawler after he has
That's
a
a lot of
standoff.
Marines.
He's a standoff with a big stick insect. He's writing like notes to his kid and stuff.
I've not actually seen the full movie full way through, but
Man,
sorry, I have to point out. So we literally have Kong versus Kong in the second movie.
Yeah, which by the way, I watched it a little bit drunk with my mate, and we just started doing Metal Gear Solid. Just going, brother.
I mean, I can see Liquid and Solid fighting there.
Yeah. Actually, going on. Okay, no, we're talking reboots, so let's go with the American remakes because there's a ton of American remakes through film, TV, whatever. But I just want to talk about Godzilla and King Kong because King Kong's an American movie anyway, but Godzilla isn't. And
No.
the Godzilla's had the Americanized remake twice. The first time was in the 90s with
Broderick.
It's a movie I know I can still watch. It's a movie as a kid I know I enjoyed, but looking back on it now, I'm like, shit, as a kid,
Why?
It's like watching as a kid, like as an adult going, I know I liked this as a kid. I was a fucking stupid kid. Though I'll still say John Reno. Fucking love John Reno.
Yes.
Best thing in it. Then you got the recent ones, the legendary ones. And, they've been fun. Yeah, the first one was a bit drama.
I enjoyed it.
Drama heavy with the Marine trying to get back to his wife and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's going to be Heisenberg versus Godzilla. And then he dies 15 minutes into the movie. That was a bit shitty.
I thought that was a bit misleading.
But every single thing they fucked up with the first movie, they fixed with the sequel, King of the Monsters. You've seen King of the Monsters, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It was only then here's the thing. It was only at the end of that movie that I realized, wait, Kong of Skull Island's in this movie? Or is in this series?
Yeah, at the end of Kong.
Yeah.
They actually
sorry.
That's the right Kong. No, that's the right Kong you're thinking of. Because the end of Kong post-credits thing is a big setup for Godzilla with fighting King Ghidorah.
Yeah, sorry, no, it's not even that. There's actually halfway through the film they say, there's an activity in this place and Skull Island. And I was like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was supposed to be this year, but it must be delayed now, which was
Probably.
Godzilla versus King Kong. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan. I don't think I've seen every Godzilla movie. I've seen many of them. They're great, but a lot of them just blend into each other. It's like, it's the one with Mechagodzilla. Which one? Shit, which one?
The one I remember going to see in cinemas was Godzilla 2000, and I don't know, it was because
is that the one where he kills the shitty 90s Godzilla and he like turns around, smacks him in the Sydney Opera House and just blows him up?
I don't know. It's the one with the meteor that sort of starts tilting for some reason. Like a meteor crashes, and then the entire time it sort of tilts up, and then there's like a clone of him or something like that, and he's fighting two aliens. I remember watching thinking,
don't know. I do remember. I do remember the first Godzilla movie I ever watched. It was shit. Which one was it? All I remember is it involves Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mechagodzilla.
The first one I saw involved him and Ultraman, or that the giant
the Godzilla version. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, versus the beetle thing and Rodan, I think it is.
Rodan. But so the King of the Monsters, I think they did nicely squeeze everyone in because you've got Godzilla, you've got King Ghidorah, you've got Rodan, and you've got Mothra. Mothra was Mothra's kind of like I love Mothra. She's lovely. And then it's like, oh god, Rodan's gonna fuck her up. No, she's got a stinger. And then she died. And I'm going to, because I'm going to cry at a giant CGI moth dying. But there's another remake. There's another series, which is the Netflix one, or it's the one that's released on Netflix. And it's the CGI'd anime one. And
wait, is this the one like Kong?
No, this is Godzilla, and there's 3 of them.
Oh, that's
it's shite.
I've watched
shite.
all of them, and yes, it is. It's just, I mean, for some reason, I still watching it. I still wanted to see the next ones for the sake of
it's like, the next one's gonna have okay. The next one's gonna have Mechagodzilla. No, it's gonna have a crappy robot city that doesn't do anything.
No, I mean, to be fair,
it's like this one's gonna have Mothra. No, Mothra's not a blink and you miss a cameo, and like King Ghidorah
is
a bunch of snakes.
Is there
a black hole.
and then not? Yeah, it's like
yeah.
I mean, I just sitting there like, look, I'm all for fact of Godzilla's the king of monsters, but how does he even fight that? They literally say he's there, but he's also not there. It's like,
yeah, okay. But I think is though, we still watched about 7 hours worth of shit movie to watch all three of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, and as well as like, oh, we killed Godzilla in the first movie. No, he didn't.
It's like, no, he got better. No. Why did he get better? Because he's the main character. You are not the main character. Is your name in the title? Is your name in the title? You fly a bunch of spaceships and mechs and shit? Great. Yeah. Your name's not in the title. The giant mile-high tree mold thing, that's the main character.
Yeah.
Not you, tiny anime protagonist. Not you. Never you. Shh. So, I'm going to move on now because we spent a lot of time talking about Godzilla. I didn't mean to talk about Godzilla much. Then there's the other, which is the kind of reboot that acknowledges the others took place, but doesn't. And the perfect example of this is Mad Max Fury Road. Because
I mean, we say it's a reboot, but
no, I wouldn't even call it a reboot. It's another sequel, but
like reboot in the sense that it's restarting this franchise, but otherwise not really changing anything. Kind of like Battlefront.
Kind of. All right, so for those who haven't seen Mad Max started off as like indie, low-budget Australian movie where a doctor wanted to make a movie showing real-life injuries in high-speed crashes. Because
that was the inspiration?
Wait for it, because teenagers kept racing on the back roads in Australia and killing themselves and maiming themselves. So the doctor got some money together, but no one would finance a movie about that, so he turned it into a post-apocalyptic thing. That doctor is George Miller. That's the director of Mad Max. That's the reason why Mad Max 1, all the injuries in it are like, oh.
I mean, even the first film wasn't really post-apocalyptic, though, was it? Because I mean, Mad Max was a highway cop.
It was like the world's about to go to hell kind of thing. Mad Max 2 is where all the leather gets introduced.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, was it Lord Humongous? And then Mad Max 3 has Tina Turner. But then by the time we get to Fury Road, it's like,
and Master Blaster. That was his name.
Master Blaster, Thunderdome, Captain Walker. I love Mad Max, man. Don't me.
What's the deal? Face the wheel.
Oh, we got to do Mad Max episode.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Fury Road, which is like, it almost makes out like it's been hundreds of years since the apocalypse, when canonically it's all over the place. But that movie's just, it doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't.
No.
Not when you have the Doof Warrior hanging off a 2-story set of speakers on a monster truck with a guitar that fires flames. You don't need it when you have
bungee cords.
Yeah, you don't need it when you have Furiosa. You don't need it when you have the fun wives. You don't need it with Tom Hardy's Max. Or
I just love the whole like
Immortan Joe.
I even love just the whole was it the religious symbolism was like, you know, like witness, and it's like, is that supposed to be like a car engine?
It's supposed to look like a V8 engine.
Yeah.
I think for one it's like, you know, it's the bullet farmer. I am the angel of death. Cry, brother Glock. It's like, oh, that, like those movies, like the whole thing of the reboot and whatever, it doesn't matter.
No. It's
just you get there, you have fun. And oh my god, those movies are fun. It also kind of melts my head. It's the same director as Babe and Happy Feet. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I just need to remind you. So
oh my god.
So let's move on to a very quick
topic. I can only now reimagine that Mad Max film, but with penguins and pigs.
Witness me. Wee. Slide. So moving on to TV, because we talked about movies for way longer than I thought we would. TV does this. Either you get reboots of old things, because right now we've got MacGyver's back on TV.
Really?
Magnum PI. They're not very good shows, but they exist. Then you've got the really, really big, good remakes and reimaginings like Battlestar Galactica, which it just hit the right time. That was a big kick-ass show.
Mm.
Then you've got the remake adaptations. I think the one you brought up here is From Dusk Till Dawn. That was the Netflix
Yeah,
adaptation, wasn't it?
there's 2 series of it, I believe. Or basically, the first season is literally just taking
I
the
th-
film, putting it into like a
I
series, and
think I think there's 3 because I only watched the first 2.
oh, well, I've only watched the first one, and I'll probably get back and watch the second one at some point. But I just kind of was like, yeah.
Okay, I liked it, but they try. Okay, so for those who don't know, From Dusk Till Dawn is a movie directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Quentin Tarantino. Whoever made the TV show is trying to write like Quentin Tarantino. So they're basically dropping in a ton of like pop culture references the way he would, but with like the same kind of context.
Impact.
Like at one point, like season 2, the guy's like, "Hey, my brother used to listen to this old radio show called The Shadow. The Shadow knows." The Dark Man's like, and why are you talking about this? When Tarantino does it, 1, it can be annoying, but 2, he usually either uses it to move something forward or have a fun bit of dialogue, not just reference. Still kind of a fun show. I'm not really bitching on it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Then there are, which are the reboots, once again, same way to Mad Max, of we're just continuing on the universe. That's Doctor Who. Doctor Who's had 2, well, technically Doctor Who's the one who started the whole rebadge thing. It was like, hey, your main actor's getting old and you get rid of him. Let's just reboot the character over and over and over again for the end of time.
Literally.
And there's been 2 big reboots of the show. Well, one attempted one. And that was the 90s one, which that was a BBC / I think it was PBS in America. They were like joint funding it. It only had its pilot episode. It didn't get picked up, so the pilot episode got made into a movie. And that's the Paul McGann Doctor Who movie from the 90s, where Eric Roberts plays the really, really camp master. It's, do you know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, I would recommend go looking it up because it's fun. Though
I've seen the movie.
You will watch Sylvester McCoy getting killed in a drive-by or something. I just remember being shot. I haven't watched the movie in like 3 years.
Yeah, literally, he happens to drop in front of a guy who's about to get shot in gang violence, and they're just looking at this guy get out of the phone box, and like, hey, that's not the guy we're going to shoot. Well, I mean, the guns are up already, so bang, bang.
Let's kill this 5'5" Scottishman. Then you got the Russell T Davies one, which is carried on right today with Chris Jackson, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. That's her name. I like her. My favorite one so far has been Peter Capaldi.
My personal favorite. This is the thing. Like,
go on. Okay, I'll make this easier for you. Give me your favorite classic and modern. So Matt Smith's favorite modern.
I have not watched any of the classics. I've seen clips, but I've never had an opportunity to sit down and just actually watch the original.
So as a kid, it was always on TV. Like, it was always on TV, but it was reruns because me and Patrick are both from the era when Doctor Who wasn't on TV. It got cancelled in like 1991, I think, maybe, and then didn't get rebooted until we were late in our teens.
Yeah.
But I used to see the episodes, but they'd be random repeats. So every time I watched Doctor Who, it'd be a different actor playing Doctor Who. It wasn't until I think about 4 years ago. I was unemployed for about a year and a half. It wasn't a good time. And the Horror Channel would have Doctor Who marathons during the afternoon, but they'd show entire old story arcs in a row. Because the old Doctor Who used to be every story would be 3 to 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And they would just show it. I think my favorite one has to be, I want to say Second Doctor. I think his name is Patrick Troutman. Could you please Google that for me? I think the Second Doctor, I think his name is Patrick Troutman. I'm going to be so annoyed if it's wrong. But he had, I think it was Tomb of the Cybermen, and that was just really cool. It was cool. Don't worry, I still love Tom Baker and everyone.
Patrick Troughton. No, is it?
I actually think I'm right. I think Google is Troutman? Troutman?
Troutman, yeah, sorry, I was probably mispronounced.
But yeah, some of them are just really, really fun. Like, I love John Pertwee. He was fun. He was the third Doctor, white hair, cape. I remember when the actor died, my mum got really upset because that's the Doctor she used to watch when she was a kid. Yeah. Then you got the reboot, which continuation, and we're back on Star Trek because that went from this is a cool show in the '60s to a couple of motion pictures to Star Trek: The Next Generation, starring a bald Englishman playing a Frenchman,
Yep,
and it's amazing.
it is indeed.
Yeah, I love this.
And
Star
then
Trek.
it's because it's incredible. Like it's just from like obviously like the original Star Trek that spawned that, and then that's Next Generation was kind of like the basically like Deep Space Nine, and I believe Voyager
Voyager,
kind
yeah.
of came
Okay,
from it.
so that whole big like chunk of time period
Hmm.
for the show canonically is
Yeah,
Next Generation, Deep Space
Deep
Nine, and
Space
Voyager.
Nine.
I
Yeah,
think all three of them were on at the same time,
yeah.
broadcast wise.
Yeah,
I think
because I mean I know Deep Space Nine basically started after the whole the first big fight with the
The
Borg,
Borg,
yeah,
yeah. But, well, no,
and then Voyager
it
was
started. It started like a wee bit after that, but they included it in their canon because
yeah, because obviously
Cisco
Cisco's whole
does.
thing with his wife, yeah, and
Yeah,
then Voyager then obviously starts again. Like the
it
characters
starts
are
at
on,
DS9.
yeah. Though I don't know, I've only seen a bit of the first episode. I haven't actually watched all. I was like, I'm gonna watch DS9 and then move on to that. But
Voyagers can sometimes be a little bit of a slog, but still a good show.
I mean, the impression I got from Voyager was that I thought it was kind of like the more kid-friendly one, almost. I don't know, just from a lot of the episodes I happen to just watch on the TV. It's like,
I would say no, but it's Voyager was the one I think they had the most trouble with because it's the one where its tone shifts a lot. It's not serious. Okay, so you have the Next Generation, which was kind of the Star Trek formula. If we're going to go out and find something, here's some trouble. Fix the trouble. Occasionally, it's the last one or two episodes.
It was like there was always some sort of like moral philosophical issue.
Especially season one, and then the later seasons kind of branching story arcs. DS9 was one long story arc from beginning to end. Every episode it's a bit more modern with still how television is made.
And like Next Generation always had like they're doing with like the Romulans or whatever, whereas DS9 there was always a constant singular threat. Now you had these other problems you deal, but it was always revolving around the Dominion. Like,
well, no, Dominion gets like season 3. Dominion gets introduced, but still, it's still a story of these people, and
the first 2 seasons builds up to them because there's always reference to some
whereas Voyager's kind of all over the place. It's not bad, and it has some of the best Star Trek characters. Jane Wang, the Doctor. The Doctor's still one of the best characters in Star Trek history, and that's like.
No, sorry, just on the Doctor. There's one episode I did see full where it's like it starts off on this alien planet, and the Voyager or some sort of a reimagining of it. It's like
right, and seven. And it's like they're reimagining like Chakotay with a giant face, like his tattoos, a whole like. Face
and it's like they saw Voyager as like a warship, and then he reactivates the Doctor, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then he looks at it, he's like, "This is all wrong."
Historically inaccurate, but so Voyager's all over the place, but still good. Then you get Picard, which I don't think you've watched yet. I want to punch you really hard for not watching.
First episode I watched.
Watch it.
Anyway, we've gone back on the Star Trek again, so
I know. Okay, we'll do a Star Trek episode later. So I was going to say we're going to go through everything, and we're going to comics, but I don't want to talk about Marvel or DC because Marvel and DC's that's the bread and butter. They reboot, retcon, reimagine all the time. New 52, Ultimate, Silver Age, Golden Age, Bronze Age, 5G if it ever comes out. It's all over the place. Rebirth. You've got. It's all over the place. So, but I'm going to bring up something that you brought up. So you sent Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. Basically, Hanna-Barbera reimagined a bunch of the characters in comic form, where Scooby-Doo was everyone's a hipster, and Scooby-Doo is a talking dog with talks and emojis because it's a scientific experiment. But then there's a bunch of other ones. Then you had the Flintstones, which actually dealt with some really far too real stuff. Like, their whole thing is that the Flintstones were getting, people rallying against them because they're in a monogamous relationship. When back then, it's like, why do you only have one wife? Why do you only have one husband? That's not how things work. You must breed and, You have to breed or not breed. That's the thing.
Hmm.
So they're being like they're being like hounded and marginalized. Like it's an allegory for gay marriage. They
Yeah.
even have a gay couple in the series who raised Fred has two gay dads, by the way, who are referred to as non-breeders because they can't breed. But then it's like, no, but they adopted me. They're my fathers. So there's a whole bunch of things in it. It's like, I didn't think I'd be getting these moral lessons from the Flintstones because it's the fucking Flintstones.
Yeah.
But the one which really it's genuinely heartbreaking to read, but I would recommend anyone to, if they want to have something to read, just to really just kill you inside. It's the Snagglepuss, which reimagined this kind of hello camp pink tiger as a playwright in the vein of Truman Capote, who, yeah, him being a closeted or slightly out homosexual back when it was illegal, and getting called in front of Congress for possibly being a communist, and something's like really, it's like, gee, it's like this is really literally some of these characters are cartoon characters where that cop is a horse or a mule or whatever. And this guy's a depressed dog. Yeah, the depressed dog kills himself, and it's one of the most depressing fucking things you could read. It's like,
Jesus.
yeah, and that's not even a giant spoiler. That's just kind of something you see coming from a mile away. And it's like,
What was his name? Drippy, wasn't it?
I don't want to talk about it. Right, so, but that's the kind of comics that get rebooted all the times.
Well, just on the vein of Hanna-Barbera, so just like on a more positive note, you reminded me of like the two, obviously, touches on a lot of like the cartoons and that there, but in a totally reimagined sense. So what? Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. I mean, it's like we're talking about like Flintstones, touching on like, so Fred keeps getting hit in the head. So he's got multiple personalities, and he's a mob boss.
Oh, no. Can we talk about okay, we're going to do this really quickly. Harvey Birdman, the time the Jetsons turn up and they can't walk.
I have not seen that one.
It's brilliant. It's like, we're from the future year of, and they said the year, and Harvey Birdman looks down at his calendar. Yeah. It's like, that's 2 years. That's 2 years ago, man. Yeah. But yeah, they're great shows. But let's just round it up with some fun games. Let's talk about video games. Can we start this podcast talking about video games? Let's talk about video games.
So the one I want to talk about quickly. So we're talking about like reboots, like Romance of the First of the Three Kingdoms, as far as I know, is like an RTS strategy, very similar to.
Okay. Let's start with this. So let's go back. First off, it's a book.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's a book, and then there was a TV series on it, but like Korean or sorry, I say Korean, Chinese, but anyway, my point is that whenever there was a game made of it, it was like the RTS, and then it was made into the first Dynasty Warriors. First Dynasty Warriors game, a straight up Tekken fighting game.
Yeah.
And then Dynasty Warriors 2.
No, I can't remember. It's either Tekken or like a Virtual Fighter ripoff. It's not even like
the point is, it was it was like a stage fighter. Like two players on both sides of the screen, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Dynasty Warriors 2 came out, and now you have the Dynasty Warriors genre.
And as I believe last time we talked about it, it's like, I'm going to fight everyone over there. What do you mean everyone over there? I'm going to fight everyone over there with this giant horse and etc. I made this joke last time.
Yeah.
Carry on. But yeah, but isn't that it's like the same story just over and over and over again? Yeah, or their other version, which is, hey, it's the exact same thing. This guy's going to fight everyone over there, but this time it's Gundam. No, this time it's One Piece. No, this time it's The Legend of fucking Zelda.
This time it's Bleach.
I have never watched Bleach.
Plenty of fun characters for it. I mean, anything that's got like, just the shonen genre fits into it.
We've segued enough. Let's have a few more games. Prince Persia, which is being rebooted, reimagined about 6 times now.
6?
Mate, there's been a lot of them.
I know there's like
Persia,
the original.
Prince Persia 3D, those Prince Persia games. The one that's not based on a movie, but it's not based on a game. Then there's the other one, which is all cell shaded and there's no North on it. There's a few of them. Then we have Devil May Cry, which had DMC Devil May Cry, which the writing's all over the place. Some of the styles of it's stupid, but the game isn't bad.
Yeah.
I don't hate the game. I actually enjoyed the game. Yes, the writing's stupid, and some of it's genuinely stupid. I mean,
I probably enjoy playing the game. But I just do not feel interested in playing it just for just such a big tone shift, you know. And I'm
Honestly,
looking at it,
that's exactly how I felt with Devil May Cry 2.
well, I mean, at least with Devil May Cry 2, he looked the same. It was the same sort of thing. Like, and then I got into it's like, this is not quite like the first one.
No, I love the fact I'm looking at your list. You put Prince of Persia twice.
It?
Yeah, you did. I got confused for a minute.
I think I could.
Don't worry about it. You're grand. So, yeah, they rebooted the character. It was technically a remake because they kind of got the story from Devil May Cry 1, 3, and Bad Guys Mundus, like Devil May Cry 1.
Yeah.
Here's the brother who eventually turns into the antagonist, like Devil May Cry 3 and 1 and 5 and 4. Virgil's a prick. That's all you really need to know. Virgil's a prick.
Yeah.
But they're fun. It was a fun game. Yeah, they completely wrote it out of canon with, Devil May Cry 5, but, Devil May Cry 5 was still really, really good.
All I'll say is, like, it's worth trying new things.
Oh, yeah, no. So the reason it happened is because Capcom gave it to an outside developer. And this was... Shit, who was this again? Ninja Theory? Ninja Theory. Same ones who did...
Ninja Gaiden.
No.
No, did they actually?
No, they didn't.
No, Team Ninja did Ninja Gaiden. That was it.
These are the ones who did Hellblade. And... Shit, that one was just basically just Journey to the West. Like, what? Enslaved. It's basically a sci-fi steampunk reboot of, or reimagining of Journey to the West. And they got given, like, okay, we want this different. We want this Dante different. And they give, like, look up some of the art, which is almost used. It's like, geez, there's a bearded old Dante, and it's kind of cool. There'll be a bunch of other games, like, technically a remake, even though it's a sequel, Doom 3. Doom 3 is more or less a remake of Doom 1. It was fun. I like Doom 3. Doom 3 has a special place in my heart because it's just fun. I know you've not really played any Doom games.
No.
But they're fun.
You've
got
granted.
The new Doom games, which a very, very, very minor spoiler from the end of Doom 2 and midway through Doom Eternal. So end of Doom 2, Hell comes to Earth, Doom guy fights all the way back to Hell and stays in Hell to fight the demons. Midway through Doom Eternal, do you realize it's the same Doom Marine?
Doom Marine?
The Doom guy is the same Doom guy from the original.
Because
they
Doom Marine? Doom Marine, right? Yes, I got you.
Doom. I'll spell it as Doom guy or Doom Slayer. Literally, there's flashback where he's being dragged in this thing, and he's pick up his helmet, and it's the Doom 1 helmet, and it's like, and all he's saying is demons everywhere, rip and tear. And it's like the Doom guy has dialogue, and it's really fucked up. And it's like, shit, Doom guy has PTSD, and he's got issues, and I fucking love that character. Yeah, stuff like that. Then you get the full reboot treatment, which is Wolfenstein, because they went like in the new Bethesda id. They went the whole alternate. The Allies lost World War II, Nazis won, and they went through a really dark but cool what if scenario where Nazis are bastards. That's all you really need to know. Bastards. So give me a reason to shoot Nazis. Great, I'll shoot them.
I mean, that's basically what Wolfenstein is: shooting Nazis.
Yeah, I think it was it Yahtzee Croshaw said the best of you don't really need a reason to kill Nazis. Like it's like, hey, would you like to kill this Nazi? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was already killing this Nazi. What do you want?
Yeah.
There's a ton of games like this where either it's either a remake, spin-off, whatever, but becomes its own thing. Like you have the Metroid games, and then you have Metroid Prime. Because Metroid Prime 1, if I remember correctly, it's like the story is like a bridge gap between two of the earlier Metroid games. And then it became it is. I don't even play those games, and I know that.
I played the first Metroid bit up to about the first boss and a little bit after. Never played the other ones.
But Prime became its own real series, and everyone's really excited for Metroid Prime 4. I want to say 4. 4 is the one they announced last.
The next Prime game.
Before that. Yeah. Then you've got the ones which, like GTA. You got the original like 2D
top down
ones, which is GTA 1, GTA 2, GTA London. Though that's kind of
yeah.
And you got the 3D universe, which is GTA 3,
Vice
Vice City,
City,
San
San
Andreas.
Andreas.
I think Chinatown Wars is also in that, as well as Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories. Then you've got the HD universe, which is GTA 4 and 5,
4 or 5.
and whatever 6 is going to come out.
Hmm.
They're all technically, good, solid chunks of different stories, but it's like they're all still the same thing, though, and they're great. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest difference was going from like the 2D top down to actual 3D, and then actual dialogue in that there. Because I remember,
okay, GTA 1 did have dialogue, and I still, to the day I die, I will remember the first cutscene I ever seen in GTA. And it's like, oh, you're gonna find out why they call me the donkey. And it's like, what the fuck is that gonna fuck me?
That game had cutscenes.
They're really badly animated, like almost cartoonily animated.
Yeah. I never actually knew there was missions in that game. I think I was too young to sort of. I was just like, oh, driving around and.
Mate, I must say this now. We're young enough to never have played those games. We shouldn't have played those games. By the way,
I had that game.
By the way, this is something I found out the other day. Have you still got the disc, by the way?
Yes.
GTA 1. If you put it in a CD player, it works. If you put the GTA 1 in a CD player, it plays the GTA soundtrack.
Excellent.
I only found that out a wee while ago, and I literally dug out my copy, which I still have, and did it, and it's like, oh, yay! More content for the game. By the way, I think GTA 1 and GTA 2 are free. Are free now to play online from Rockstar. So
I mean, you say that, and I'm just thinking, what if I put a PS4 game in a CD player? What would happen?
It will explode. Okay, so we're not running out of time. We're more rounding up. You have one thing, be it film, TV, comics, or games, that you would either like to see remade, rebooted, or reimagined. Choose wisely.
Ooh. I mean, I was almost going to say Power Rangers, but then there was the actual serious comic series they did leading into the fighting game, which was like, that's kind of exactly what I would.
Also, they had a big film, which apparently is okay.
I know the film's good. It's just not as kind of gritty or serious as I was going. Almost like that the one with Val Kilmer and your lady Starbuck from Battlestar. That was
fucked up. It's great, but it's fucked up.
Reboot. You see, for me with reboots, I'm always preferring to be pleasantly surprised by just like how people reimagine things. But I can't think of anything offhand that I'd be like, oh, I would love to see that rebooted, because it's either something I hate, but I would love to see it again. So I was trying to figure out what would that even be, and then once I love, but then it's like, reboot.
Easier thing, right? How would you reimagine a property? Anything you like, because I've thought of one, but I want to hear you first. Or would you like my example to set the scene?
Well, no, I think it came to my mind, and I was going to say this to you earlier. I don't know why. I just been sitting thinking, what would it look like if you reimagined the Mario Brothers in the Warhammer 40K universe?
Okay, the reason he said that is because I sent him a comic book, and it's like, there's Mario pulling up beside the new weird ultramarine tank, and both kind of get ready to drive off at each other.
Yeah.
They either die really quickly or they become gods. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, but if you actually just took the Mario Brothers, not just like drop them as they are, but kind of took them with their abilities and their kind of like skill sets and that, but sort of reimagined them in the 40K universe and sort of
not just imagining a really big like ultramarine, like but with a mustache.
Yeah, but can you imagine an Ultramarine jumping like Mario?
It is me. Let us go forth, and just jumps on a bunch of fucking orcs.
So would Bowser be an orc or a Tyrannid? I want to say Tyrannid because then you think of the Koopas and Goombas. They'd be like termites.
This is turned into a very, 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 very different thing. Not even what I meant. This is the kind of thing I meant, right? I want to see a developer take another crack at Colonial Marines, but do it right, because Colonial Marines is kind of one of those big disappointments, big hard disappointment, because they just turned it into a very generic shooter, and at that, it was also a buggy shit one, where like 3 or 4 years after it's out, someone realized this one should be a 0. Oh, look, the AI isn't that bad anymore. Still a bad game, though. I would like it take the same approach Alien Isolation did. And back to the first movie, and it took all the stuff which made the first movie great, put it into a game. You're scared, you're tiny, this thing can kill you like that, and it does a lot. I'm bad at the game. Take that same approach with aliens and make that a game. You're not going to kill every alien. Every bullet counts. It's a survival horror game. It will be scary as shit. These things will fuck you up in no time. I want that Colonial Marines game. I want a hard game. I want a scary game. Literally, if you can make Isolate. No, actually, do you know what? Do you know what the multiplayer could just be? Alien Isolation, but you make it isometric, where you got 4 guys and 1 alien with a ridiculous amount of health.
See, you just basically described Dying Light, is it?
Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th,
yes.
A ton of other games. But imagine that game, though.
You see what you're talking about, making a really hard Colonial versus like the xenomorphs and all that there. I'm sitting thinking that'd be good for an XCOM mod.
I'm actually surprised. Wait, no, I'm pretty sure there has been an Alien versus Predator game that was like that.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, we've gone on. We started at 18 past, didn't we?
Yeah, so
we've only got a couple minutes left. So let's round it up. I actually enjoyed talking about that. That was fun. That was a fun topic. We will try to get these out weekly. We're still working out when and where these are going to drop, because it takes a while to edit. I say it takes a while. It's me going through them by myself, fixing all the audio mistakes, etc., and occasionally editing in Jack from Resident Evil.
Welcome to the family, son.
And we're still working that out. But you can find this either on our YouTube, InfinityCast, or infinitycast.co.uk. We're trying to get more content out. We're trying to get more things. That's the reason we had everyone on the last episode, Ben and Egerton. We're still streaming a lot. Well, once a week, occasionally twice. That's over at This Isn't My Coat, or twitch.tv/This Isn't My Coat. Patrick, I know there's something you want to do on Thursday. Will we be doing it?
Well, I mean, obviously, if we take the proper precautions and be responsible at it, but yes.
Basically, don't lick each other's face, and don't lick each other's face. Me and Patrick.
And don't lick the controller.
Well, don't ruin this for me. No, we might be good. We might be finally going back to playing Resident Evil Code Veronica. I literally went back and watched the entire playthrough we did, which is just shy of 4 hours. I was literally editing another video. I was like, okay, this has got to render. I'm just going to bring up a little tiny window and watch this. And yeah, Patrick, you need to learn how to play that game again, because I'm pretty sure you've forgotten.
Yep, pretty sure. I mean, the new Nemesis is certainly not helped.
Oh yeah. Also, we might be playing. Actually, we've still got to finish Nemesis. Hey Patrick, what are you doing What are you doing tonight?
No major plans. We're going to be the Battlefront at some point, but
okay. At this point in time, we might just be pissing off to play video games with each other on Twitch. Anyway, we'll round it up here. Hope everyone's had a lovely evening with us, or day, or morning, or taking a very, very long shit. If so, go to see your fucking doctor. It shouldn't take that long.
Unless they're just enjoying the experience.
Thank you for learning from me.
Let's just stop there. I don't want to. Yeah.
So stay safe. Genuinely stay safe. Any it's telling you to not wear a mask, punch in the face, and then wash your hand. Anyway, that's me. That's Patrick.
Hello.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Did you say hello?
Well, I mean, that's me. You said that's me, and then that's Patrick. I was like, hello.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All of you.